All right, so first things first is I do want to address, especially for those of you guys watching this back, Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time is probably going to be the most important charting session that I'll ever do. That being said, this is going through. This could take hours, but we're basically going to go through. We're going to look at every single game and look for the play that they took, right? Date and time, um, and basically make a watch list or a list of stocks that are our setup. And that way we know when we show up to the charts every day what we're looking for. If we look back at what we've done to win, then inevitably we can make a blueprint on what we want to be able to do going into the future. But this is by far, I've done the workshop is important for sure. But as far as a charting session, this is number one. If you guys are in the free Discord, the details on if you're not in our main Discord on how to get linked up are in there. So, all right. Anyway, with that being said, my title says Range Week, and some of you guys might be able to guess why my clock is backwards. No, no, it's not. My camera's backwards, right? I think that's how that works. Because I think if I do, there you go. Is that better? Do you like alternative Potter? I think this is what I look like in real life. Slightly different. All right. Anyway, so first off, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the economic calendar for this week. We did talk about this on Friday, but of course we'll do it again today. Monday, Tuesday, nothing really going down. Wednesday, we do have PPI month over month, PPI month over month, our core PPI and PPI month over month. Then CPI coming in on Thursday, as well as University of Michigan consumer sentiment and inflation expectation. So we'll see how much that volatility that brings in. As far as the earnings week is concerned, we really don't have anything huge. You see Casey's and AVO and Mama's Creations. I think they make cookies. So nothing big, right? Or I think Oracle, GameStop, those are kind of boring to me. Chewy could be interesting. Kroger, Adobe, again, I haven't looked at the charts, and maybe some of you guys have done a little bit more work, but not a lot of these names are super volatile, and this is kind of the dead side of earnings. But that being said, it is September. We're not taking that into take it into heart. What? What's range mean? You guys are ridiculous. I'll show you range. 1 second. Just pulling out the chart. There we go. Make sure to tap your screen also if you can. I'm drinking coffee right now. I would love to go over UPS, but just give me one moment and we will do that. All right, so we're taking a look at futures. Now, this is how I keep myself safe. I may be able to find something on a higher time frame or on a lower time frame that could give me an idea as to where we could be going, but this is the range that we are currently sitting in. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And so this candle is telling me little to nothing, right? Now, we're going to move down. Thoughts on the Strat by Rob Smith. Not my thing. I need a higher time frame view if you're a day trader, maybe, but I have a lot of homies that try to do that, the Strat, and without the higher time frame now, maybe with this strategy it could be useful, but anyway, that being said, take a look at ES right here, and you'll notice we have just refilled our empty space. So if we want to go to the upside, we're probably going to have to get above, oops, come over here. Probably going to have to get above that 61.15, right? So as of right now, I'm chilling. And that's literally how I do this, guys. Just like it is, some weeks it's hot, some weeks it's not. And the majority of people who just trade every day or trade every week and they show up and they lose all of their gains, they fail to see this, right? We're opening up in range, and what you can do so that way you're not missing out on anything, which is most people's biggest fear, is you can go down through these lower time frames and you can find, I prefer the hourly here because of the range. You can find the ranges that we're staying above. So lower time frame, we're sitting right here. If we start breaking down, right, on underneath like 64.45, that's something that could propel us to the downside. So for me, this week, SPY, probably not going to be trading it. Don't usually do that anyway. Now, looking at the NQ here, same deal, right? Move that up just a hair. You'll see that. So this could just be a retest. We'll see if that we can reject, and that's going to be the theme for me this week. As you can see, we have a green candle closing up against that wall, or pushing up against that wall. But the hourly is really where this kind of gives it away, right? That previous same rejection level that you had before here at basically 23.8, that is where we will continue moving to the upside. We bounced off of structure underneath us. So until one of these things happen, if we are in this space, this is my no trade. You get it. I'm not going to write the rest. No trade zone. No. Emphasis on no. Okay. So that's just for me. This is how I stay safe. Again, what you plan on doing higher time frame wise, or if you think the market's going to dump and you want to go short or whatever, as long as you have a great stop loss, that's really all that matters. Thank you guys for tapping your screen. I appreciate you. All right. Now, last week was pretty exciting. Banged out a couple of earnings trades that were absolutely amazing. Now, this week, that's kind of dried up. We don't have as many opportunities. And some of the plays that I've been looking at are still there, right? Still open up. Rivian still staying green. That's one thing that I'll be watching this week. Now, I expect this thing to range, and pretty happy that it stayed with its candle above. But personally, if this thing falls anywhere below 1330, we're going to move down. I'll take your guys' request in just one moment. I'm also keeping my eyes peeled on NEO, as it's definitely breaking down to the downside finally for some of you folks. Longer expiration, hang on. Stop loss 626, and a lot of you guys are aiming down towards the 530s, which makes a whole hell of a lot of sense. You should be, again, paying attention to some of these previous 550 levels, or if you go to the 4-hour here, where you gap down. Ultimately, the whole play is just for a retest back down to $5. So that being said, I'll go ahead and break off. I have been watching ALK again. It has been in a little sector of its own, holding its own area of consolidation. This one still has a solid play up to $60 or $70, and also a retest to the downside at 59. All right, now, if you guys have any requests, I am going to hyperfixate on the ones that say up or down. So what direction are you looking at taking this whatever stock? Okay, so if you guys drop your requests right now, I'll try to move through them. If I don't see them immediately, I will continue to drop them. It helps the algorithm, but it also helps me see them one at a time. Once I get one done for you, don't spam the whole market. All right. Do you see yourself trading in 10 years? Yeah, of course. All right, so let's go ahead and move back up. Can I go over gap? Yeah, so this one, again, I don't get scared of red candles. Lower time frames, fine, but you should be expecting and anticipating a potential retest of 23.21. That is what I see on gap. Continuation of the upside. If that breaks down, then perhaps we just find a re-entry. ARM to the upside. Okay, so I like this one, and that one is also one that I think if you can afford the contracts, you should be looking at that right now. While we go over it, the contracts, or the target here for ARM is all the way in the 161s, right? Which is pretty far away, but we got a lot of empty space. And I know that ARM can do it, right? We know that building in this area of consolidation, 1, 2, 1, 2. So we're starting to build the right way, right? In terms of potential continuation to the upside. So I absolutely adore this kind of setup. And this is one that obviously, if we can get this one to play out, even the 150s would be a really successful setup, and probably a more tangible target. So if you're writing this one down, ARM 150, that is going to be right around those strike prices that we're looking for. There's got to be some time on those. I personally am going to be looking at 2 weeks out, or 3. I already have 150s. No, I don't think. If you already have 150s and you have at least 4 to 3 weeks on your expiration, I think you should be good. If this has some sort of news event, then you're great. But obviously, just looking at this on a regular setup. Thank you guys for tapping your screen. If you guys aren't following me yet, make sure to follow me. PayPal to the upside. All right, so maybe. But this is easy. Folks, this is so easy. And I hope when you look at these type of setups, you don't feel anxiety as where is this going to break? But, oh, I know exactly where this breaks, and I'm not really going to be worried about anything until one or the other happens. Now, you can get some further insight if you're really interested in this area of consolidation breaking, but I can just tell you this. If you have a candle close up against $70, again, you're probably going to go up. Okay? Plain and simple. My nose itches. That being said, obviously beautiful empty space up above you, 4-hour trigger 7150, and it looks great. But this is one of those things that you could put on the side of your wall on a fucking calendar, right? And you could just put PayPal triggers here, set alerts, and don't worry about it. So, all right, TTD to the upside. Now this is another one, right? That's another great one. So PayPal, ARM, TTD, these all have that factor that we're looking for, right? In order to get a big play, we're looking for empty space. Now, I would assume that the majority of this takes off in sections, but we know that TTD earnings, maybe earnings or just regular basis, TTD definitely has, the potential, right? We could fill up a lot of, if not all of that empty space, but the reality is here that you are in range, right? Pure and simple, you are in a box. And so until we're above 55.34, that's not going to happen. Now, if you want to be able to figure out where to get in, or you're looking for a good entry / exit, because our entries are typically our exit, you could use the 2-hour time frame. You could look for this floor to get recovered. That's empty space in here, so 53.75. And you could be using, again, when I look at this on the 4-hour, it seems pretty simple to me. You're looking for a candle close directly back on that floor to get up into that empty space. So once you can achieve that, you can move in the right direction and head for this break after that. This would be your 4th tap. So at that point, I'd be looking up. All right. PLTR down. So this is another one. So we're actually doing really good this week, guys, everybody who's dropping requests, at least the ones that I'm looking at, I like that everybody is looking for the same thing. Everybody. That is beautiful, right? So PLTR, 24-hour time frame. Downside, well, I can't say downside. Yeah, is not as clear. That being said, if you look at the weekly, this is my reasoning. It's just kind of like choppy candles. And so you would need some sort of catalyst in order to push down. But one thing I can see is that tension is here, and a break is, in one direction or another, a break is likely to occur. Now, with that being said, just like PayPal, just like everything else, just like TTD, it's finding the parameters of that trade. So our floor here is going to be at 149.50. I think anything popping up above 159.16 would get you to the ceiling at 163.80 and give you a great play to the upside all the way to 172.35. And that's really where I'd like that. I'm actually going to set an alert right here. Can you stop scratching yourself, dude? And get off my do-rag, bro. All right. So one Stelio sent me. It's my do-rag from Stelio. Look at that thing. All right. Anyway, or whatever it's called. I don't know what it's called. Floppy hat. It's, what was the alert? Downside, you need a 149.50 break. Upside, 159.16. Trigger outside of 164 up to 172.35. It's not a skull cap. It's not tight. Keep tapping the screen if you guys can. I appreciate you. Twilio to the upside. So another one. Now, the only difference here is, and I did actually really like that. If you got into this one, I didn't hate the break, right? We've been held underneath the same previous resistance as we have before. And you'll notice that as you waked up, and this is why I think there is still potential continuation of the upside, we did not get to that 115. Now, what we did do is try to hold here. And I think at minimum, That's what needs to happen. That's the 109.50 level. You go to the 4-hour time frame, same thing. So good bounce, you retested. So my goal here, right, would be to maintain this range, build, and go for that second break that I talked about. But it looks good. It looks good. It does look good. Yeah. I mean, the only thing I could say is, there is a little channel here that has been creeping in, and that could be a control factor. But other than that, you look 24-hour candle looks good. So CMG down. Thank you guys for putting what direction you're looking at. It really does actually help me kind of give you better analysis. Okay, so this one actually is looking pretty good. I mean, again, you've already had a pretty tragic move to the downside. You had this previous floor in this box that you already punched through. And so that would be one of my first inclinations as an area that you would likely bounce off of. That's a psychological number of $40. If you see continuation to the downside, I would say 39.32, but you're starting to slow down a little bit, right? And that's something that, big candles, big, big, and then you are shuddering. So it's tough when I don't like, just like I don't like taking things to the upside after they've ripped. I don't like taking things to the downside. In fact, I would much rather look at a play potentially to the upside on something like this rather than the downside. I would say there's probably more of an inevitable retest of 45.38 and a trigger somewhere in here for those of you guys. I mean, seriously, this is free game. I mean, those of you guys in the Discord, you guys know we don't do signals, but this is about if you've taken the workshop or you know what I'm talking about right now, this is easy money when the time comes. But to the downside, would I would not. Thank you guys for tapping your screen. See if we get to 20K, maybe? Maybe? 20K little finger taps. I'll put on the haptic shorts that I have. I'll feel every tap. Pause. All right. Anyway, meta. What do you want to? What does he want to do? Where did that go? I don't know where that went. Meta up. Okay. So, where'd you go? Hey, yo, what? You guys don't have haptic shorts? My grandpa passed these down to me, dude. He said, "Son, these feel so good." Sorry. Let's see here. Okay, so your multiple rejections off of 760.35, right? No, I'm not falling for that again. I'm not falling for that again. See that pinned comment right there? It says not approved. That's funny. Yep. I'm not saying it. You can't get me. Anyway, above 760, right? This is a lower time frame trade if you're trying to take it to the upside, because ultimately what you're trying to do here, and now this is no longer a box, but what you're trying to do here is capture this upside. I think that's totally understandable and probably a pretty solid trade up to 784.40 with a trim target at 773.25. What do I think of magnets? They're good at keeping things on my fridge. HPQ to the upside. I know a lot of paper traders that like magnets. So. Listen, 24-hour candle close outside of the range, not bad. Don't hate it. I just would like to see the next leg up to 29.85. Once we get above there, we could potentially see continuation, like we talked about on the weekly, up to the $31 area. So, Tesla up. All right, so this one, anticipation station. You have a ton of consolidation that we've been experiencing. This has gone past the limit, really, for time consolidated for Tesla, right? You have some sideways consolidation maintaining, here. But if we go and we measure this, right, and kind of carry that across, so right there, we're definitely nearing a break. So if you're looking for a move on Tesla, I totally understand. Now, when I look at the weekly, it looks like pure and simple. If you can get above 355 on the weekly, you have a straightforward target to 380. That is a no-brainer, dumb play. Anybody could take that. Now, upon that, you would have to reclaim that floor, fill a gap at 402. 402. That would be the target for me on the upside. I have, and we have talked about the potential channel, right, that we're operating in here, like so. And so that is also going to be a factor as well. But it is something to watch. I mean, I'd be dumb not to set an alert somewhere on this thing. You know, zoom in, make it bigger. Oh, sorry. But yeah, huge wall, perfect taps. I mean, it's just one click away from breaking. So Potter might be buying the video for long term. What do you think about the huge 2008 COVID crash is incoming? Listen, but if I tell you that I think the market pulls back, is that going to stick in the back of your mind and be the reason that you don't take something? You know what I mean? But do I think that is a real possibility with the conditions of the economic landscape? Yeah, I do. But so have thousands of millions of people, because logically the whole shit shouldn't work anyway, right? But they break, bend rules, make things work so that the machine continues to move. So, like the Fed backing the market, so things like that. Alex, you don't just buy. Don't just buy. All right, keep it moving, guys. UPS. Now, I already know that I like this one to the upside. I don't know if people are going to be thinking about the holidays and all that other shit that's coming around the corner, but plain and simple, no if, ands, or buts about it. If you want to take it up, you got to get 86.30, 86.40. Sorry. That is where you have to take it, right? Period. End of story. So 4 hour time frame breaks back down. You can see it still stands pretty clear. 2 hour time frame. And now I can get rid of that and make this. So a clearer picture would be 86.75, 72. I'll set an alert there as well. That's an easy, just set a fucking alert. There's a gap right there to 87.50. And then I think the only turbulence I'd be expecting is 89.14 and $90. Can we still buy the Wednesday recording if we can't be there live? Yes. So if you sign up, you'll get the recording, because I'm not putting that out anytime soon. Can you do turbulence? Do you mean to do like charades, like show you a physical like representation of turbulence? Like, actually, don't click that. I'm just kidding. Um, if you are not in the main Discord, okay, if you're not in the main Discord and you want to sign up for the Wednesday games charting class, charting session, um, you can go into the Discord. I have it basically $100, and also should probably mention tonight is a good night to do it, because then you get a whole week. So you get the entire week. You can start Monday, send a screenshot of that. All the information is in the Discord, but send a screenshot to Ivy and she will give you 1 week in the Discord. Okay, that's how that works. So you get 1 week, and you also get that whole charting session on Wednesday, which again, I have done a lot of charting sessions. This is the most important charting session that I will ever do. I'm pretty sure, as far, outside of the workshop, because we are going through all of the winners. No, if you're in the main Discord and you already have a subscription, you do not need to pay. This is for people who are outside of the Discord. So, all right. Anyway, outside of that, again, Wednesday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern time. Boom, bada bing. All right, let's keep moving, guys. All right, so is your strategy a version of supply and demand? Negative. HPQ, already did that one. This is being recorded, so wait for that one. This makes me want to find the edge and send it. It's not that bad. All right, weekly time frame, you're in a box. I mean, what the fuck? Wow, this is insane that something could even look like this. Just absolutely a squish fest. Okay, so whatever the fuck that is, 37. I mean, that's all I can say. If you, I mean, this is, my daughter could tell you this, you know, above 38, 35, that's where you have a giant gap. But, all right, anyway, yeah, let's see here. PCVX, Panda Trades. Oh, I just did that one. What the fuck am I doing? UNH. Keep tapping your screen, guys. Appreciate that. UNH to the upside. So honestly, this one does not, you know, yesterday's wick up looked pretty good. You know, I'm still a little bit indecisive on whether I want to call this a box or a range. It doesn't look like a box. You know, that's one of my, it built around the median regardless. And so what I'd be looking for is a break over 33.24 to the upside. And then you look to your left, and this is where you kind of have to use weekly boxes or levels that you've already punched through. And to me, I don't see any resistance until 342. So it doesn't look bad. AMAT to the upside. Did I look at that one? I thought I did that one. That one actually looks pretty good. Yeah, AMAT does look good. Yeah, it actually looks bitchin'. Hold on here. 4-hour time frame. Beautiful floor. 174.71 target to the upside. You just need to get basically outside of the 164.32s and outside of 166, and that's what I'd be aiming for. You do have like a minor downtrend or a little one of these, so that is going to be a pretty important level. So upstart, are going to try to keep these quick. Another one that is channel wise trending pretty well, but that being said, you have done and made all of the retest, right? You do have a little bit of empty space, potentially 79. So that'd be the only target if this one can go to the upside, right? To the downside, it's this weird, and this is not a box, right? And that's important to establish. I draw the, I got to find something else to use for a range. But that being said, you know, this isn't very clear. The only clear time frame is the 4-hour. And so for me, if you can break out back outside of 70.85, that's where I'd be looking for a break, 79, and then up to that third tap, or excuse me, 73 up to that 79. Sorry. All right. Verizon what? Are we doing Verizon up or down? Up. Lord have mercy. So I'd rather send myself over the horizon than trade Verizon. But this is your journey, not mine. Okay, so it seems pretty clear to me that whatever the fuck this, 44.50, that has been universally the wall. So if you're looking at the upside, you need a candle close outside of that on the 4-hour lower time frame if that coincides. And that's something that you guys are going to have to do as you're going through these charts. I give you the, oh, thank you for the gifts, by the way. I didn't even see those. I appreciate it. But 44.50, that's where you would want to go and retest this floor up above you. That's 44.83. Punch through that box, and there's continuation. Just joined. Have I done Tesla? I have. It will be on YouTube tonight. Make sure you're subscribed. Like and subscribe to my oh, I can't say that. Like to TikTok. Sorry, just reiterating. But yes, I will be uploading that to YT. All right. CVS up. Brother. This is like sending, you know what? When people ask me to do charts like this, it's like sending my kid to war or something, you know? It's like, be back soon, honey. Now, that being said, yes, you dropped into the box. So naturally, I'd be looking at 151.66. But this is oil. This is a massive weekly area of consolidation. The key thing here is you dropped underneath that 156. So, Anime Weeb Talk joined. Interesting. Okay. Sound to the upside. Okay, weekly time frame doesn't really have much going on here, right? You just had what looks to be a little bit of a curl up retest. Now that seems like that previous wall, you've popped outside of it. So naturally you'd be looking at filling up the empty space above you. It does look like on Friday you did run into your first little lot of resistance. There it is, first green candle to your left on the 2 hour. Right there. And so if I was a betting man, I'd be looking for a candle push above 1436 and trying to aim for 1540. Wait, what? My entries are solid, but my exits are a bit sloppy. Big O. That's just, come on, brother. Good God. So your exits are sloppy? Are your exits, I mean, are you A to B, right? Is this, do you pick a target on the chart and then TP when they get there? Thoughts on GameStop for earnings? I don't know. I'd rather put my balls in a mammogram machine. You know, I thought about not saying that and then I still said it. That's crazy. That's crazy. Nvidia down short term. Let's see. My bad. Um, yeah. I think we talked about this one. 164.50. Looks great. 159.42. Perfect. Perfect. Is Lulu cooked? I mean, I could care less anymore, but I don't think permanently, no. Um, but there we could be seeing, I mean, maybe, I don't know, but when I look at this on the weekly, it's, I mean, I'm looking at 154.50. It's got to bounce. You know what I mean? But I mean, long term, I see 81. If a market collapse happened, I look sauced. No way, man. My eyes are just dry. Wells Fargo up. You're in a box, Chief. Weekly big red candles. So whatever upside you're looking for is probably going to take a little while. Let's see here. You're moving. Okay, you got a box underneath you right there. So sure, if you break 78.37, then potentially you could take this down. I would be taking it to 74.60, 74.50. All right. I get scared and exit early. I'm giving my stop loss more bigger. Okay, stop staring at your PIA now. Stop staring at your PIA now. Yep. Marvel, 100%. Everybody, is this live? Hell yeah, this is live. Again, make sure to watch this back on YouTube. I've already done probably a lot of tickers that you're going to be asking for. Get that ready. So I don't hate this one. I think this is actually a great area of consolidation. Now, whether or not this can reverse off of this, we talked about that before. This is one that definitely could be. I think this one is definitely one that's worth writing down. God damn. It's kind of cool though, because all the setups that I have written down are all very, very similar, which is obviously the way it's supposed to go. You don't see mine? Guys, there is mad request. Baba read it. Oh, give me a direction. I told you guys there's read it what way. But anyway, for Marvel, I do like this. I like it outside, and I think alerts need to be set. 6461. Pretty simple. And then down below 6140. So set it on the parameters, let it go. I did Neo already at the beginning. So Reddit, I've actually been thinking about selling some of my shares on Reddit. I honestly would love to short this one. You know, naturally, it has the setup to do it. Channel wise, one could argue. Box wise, or where you're at previous resistance wise, you've split the range dead in half. So my thoughts are, yeah, could Reddit blow past this and just continue moving up? Of course. But this clean exits. Um, well, I will be doing one this Wednesday. I mean, we're going to be going through all the plays that worked through the last year. Um, but what's up, Kenny? But yeah, that's where I mean, yeah, in a lot of my videos, I talk about that in my YouTube videos. Um, Definitely in the workshop, but as far as clean exits, I mean, I know I'm not going to overcomplicate it because it is simple, right? We trade from point A to point B. So when the meter hits, whatever, that's when we pull the fucking pull the lever. And for me, it's, maybe a couple ticks before it gets there or a couple cents before it gets there. If it's moving really fast, I'll trim. But like, it is when we go to make a play or set up a play, it is point A to point B. And I don't give a shit what happens to the contracts in the middle of it. And I have learned that if I stick to that and I focus on that, the amount of money that I make is redonkulous. Redonkulous. So anyway, with Reddit, I like that. I do like Reddit. I would probably set an alert down here because I would short the shit out of Reddit if that ever did break down. If the market ever turned over, which fat chance at the moment. All right, ABO. No shit. I haven't charted an avocado. We haven't charted this since Jorge. I remember when this IPO'd. So on the weekly, one could even probably say the monthly, you're definitely, I mean, building, I guess, if you're being nice. I don't see something for me here. I think that is probably the most important factor here. This floor, which you fell and lost before, and that's 1439. In order to get there, it does look like on the 24-hour there is empty space. So above that 1281, that's where I'd like to take it, but it does not have a lot of volume. Let's see here. Oracle earnings is down. Okay, so I think we have the perfect earnings checklist. And maybe that's another saucy video we can drop because this one on Wednesday is going to be the sauciest of the sauce. This is impeccable sauce. You know what I mean? This is sauce, but we put a little bit of dark chocolate in it. Can't taste the dark chocolate, but the richness is there. Saw that on TikTok. Creamy. Yeah. The checklist is fire, dude. The succulent seasoned sauce. You don't like that? Yeah, in a Bernese. Put a little chocolate in there, a little dark, a little piece of. I can't pronounce the sauce well. Anyway, just fucking eat the sauce, all right? Now he mentions seasoning. Listen, I'll show you something about seasoning. All right. I thought to myself the other day, does England have a bad rep for food as like karma for rating all of the nations that did have spice? And now they're like to do all that and then be like, nah, beans on toast, dude. That's crazy. Anyway, love you guys if you're in England. But I know that's a diabolical take. Anyway, 236 to the upside, 238.82, and that's where I would be looking for a play up to 243.50. You also have equal trade potential through this punch down below 224.28. So, all right, Potter. Oh my God, Findy lover. That's crazy, dude. CFLT. Thank you guys for tapping your screen, by the way. I really appreciate it. And again, just because I don't want anybody to miss it, this Wednesday is going to be the most important class. So if you go into the free Discord, you need to probably sign up tonight, or if you're not in the main Discord. If you're not in the main Discord and you want to be in that class, go into the free Discord. The details on how to get in there are there. The sauciest of all the sauce. We're dripping sauce. Can you please never make me chart this again? I love you so much, whoever you are. Please, no more. Please. It's not that bad. But you're building a box around the floor, so I would assume probably some sort of stupid ass channel. Maybe you build into something like that. Yes, there's good empty space. So all you can do at this point with no box above you is just look for the break. There's no link to sign up. It's $100 for the class and a week in the Discord, the class being the most important. And I'm not making a link for it. You can just Cash App it or Venmo it to me and then send a screenshot to Ivy. That's all you have to do. And beat pics. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Please don't do that. What's a Discord? You don't want to know, dude. Let's see here. What about sound? I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. So that's 50%. If I was guessing, I would say that's 50%. So from here, again, sound. Wait, did I definitely already did that one. 1437 to get to that 1541. Let's see here. I'm trying, guys. Fuck you. BMNR. Bitmine Immersion Technologies. What side are we down? So one thing I'm not a big fan of here is how slow you're falling through that empty space. You're very much in a grind down. So my thoughts are you're probably going to have a long-winded break. So I would be looking for a bounce at 38 and wouldn't be surprised because of the empty space up above you if he maybe didn't even see another curl back up. But at that point, for sure. So, all right. I don't have feet picks, but who is Ivy? I'm just kidding. Please don't send feet picks. Good God. Ivy is my assistant. What time? 4:30. So this class we are going through, if you guys are looking below us, the gains page. We are going to go through and start probably, because if you look at the percentages here, it's 1,000, what is that? 1,020, yeah, 1,000%, right? So it's hard to see on the screen. If you go up, you look at the beginning of the year or even last year, the percentages stay the same, right? We have consistently, and we're getting towards the end of the year, so we have consistently been hitting these type of trades, right? I want to go back and click on the time and the date, right, of each one of these trades. Look at that 24-hour setup and screenshot it and print it out. And some of you guys need to actually print it out and put it on your fucking walls, because if we know that we don't have to day trade, if we know we can just look for these setups, they're worth waiting for. Because I know people who will trade on a $10,000 account and maybe make $800 day trading, mostly lose money. But you could take $800 and make it $10,000 if you wait. I mean, it truly embodies that, patience is rewarded. So anyway, but that's why I'm saying this is probably because as far as like we just scan, right? And I'm like, oh, that's a good setup. But to go back and look at what has actually worked all together at like yeah, I was just gonna say, Alex, I know for sure that I could make money by just trading earnings. I know that for sure. The last 2 years has 2.5 years has confirmed this to me. Low risk, high reward. With $1,000, I could make it. Now, if you want to see that, if you go follow Alex, if you want to drop the link to your page in the Discord, in the free Discord, he's doing that right now. He's only trading earnings and he's talking about it and showing you guys. So you guys, it's on Instagram. I think, what is it called? Hold on. I can't remember shit anymore. It's AB_trades_earnings. That is the Discord or yeah, follow him. He's one of the members in the Discord. He's a buddy of mine. All right, let's keep moving. Kroger up for earnings. All right, so I'm just going to be honest with you. Immediately when I look at this, I'm like, ugh, let's go ahead and look at something else, right? How does earnings go for Kroger? Kroger earnings here move from, I guess you could say from 62 to 66, so a little bit. It looks like that was a decent earnings, decent little pop, decent move down. It's not money making. That's a money maker. And then nightmare, 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 terrible, awful, so bad. Okay. So is this one that I would really want to trade? Personally, based on that pattern alone, you've had decent reactions. So I could miss this one. And even if it went stupid, I could still never think about it. If you're looking to the downside, I say 64.22. It definitely could get there. Like, that's really tangible. But would I want to? Probably not. Just not a high probability setup for me. And again, that's what we're going to be doing this Wednesday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern time. Everybody should be there, especially if you're already in the Discord. You have to be there. I'm not going to say call off work but set some time aside. It will be recorded, but I will not be posting that on YouTube. Someone's going to steal my sauce. Can I critique your PayPal $80 call? What's the expiration on it? First of all, that 24-hour candle right there would make me want to hurl. You know what I mean? The fact that you can't even recover the floor under here, not the greatest. You do have a nice wick. Personally, I think if you took them off the wick, great. Stop loss could be 67, and you're just waiting for a break over 70.50. I know. Well, if you're already in the Discord, Rogue, then, but listen, I could push it to 5, but 4:30 is, I felt like the best time to do it. So, but we'll probably be charting until, I would assume, 8 or 9 o'clock. So, let's see here, SOXL down. So that's another one that just plagues me. Rough, the consolidation is good, but it doesn't necessarily always lead somewhere. This is where the semiconductor, it's a tough one, right? Because here's the reality. You're moving up and you're trying to go and grab that floor. You've turned that floor into this cost basis, right? You have empty space and you're hanging on by that thread, which is 23. So you have and then to the upside, I see a 32.75 target. So ultimately, this is again another read and react scenario where 29.12 is going to be the trigger to the upside. So, no, Wednesday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern time. Thank you guys for tapping your screen. By the way, we're at 30 freaking K. You guys are awesome. Thanks for the gifts. I just saw those too. The heart. Thanks, man. All right. Let's see here. I think we've gotten a lot of y'all's tickers. If I charted your ticker, put an emoji in the chat. Put your favorite emoji for me in the chat right now. Where's eggplants? I can't help you on this, man. You're moving in all-time highs. All I can do is chart is underneath you. That's my weakness. All-time highs is my weakness. What time frame do you mostly use for trading swing trades? I use the 24-hour weekly time frame. Higher time frame, higher return. Hymns to the upside. Yes, I'm looking at a $50 retest. At that point, that is where there's two levels, okay? There's 50-20 and 51-80. Those two levels, are going to determine where we go from here. But the fact that we're popping up like we are, I did do CVS. That will be on YouTube. Make sure to drop a comment or a like and a comment if you guys do watch that back on YouTube. I really do appreciate it. I do have a weakness, yes. All-time highs. All right, whoever just signed up for the cash or yeah, through the Cash App one. I'm not gonna say your name. Make sure to send that screenshot to Ivy, and she will get you in the Discord. Boom, bada bing. All right. Yeah, it'll be on that. I did CVS? No. Yeah, no, I didn't do that one, I don't think. Weekly time frame. Amelia, you have just go in the Discord. If you go into the waiting room Discord right here and go into the main chat. Yes, this is a free Discord. Post it there, AB. But here, I'll tag it for a class. There you go. Hell yeah, Mark. That's awesome. All right. Let's see here. I'll just leave the instructions up so you guys can read it there. I do have a free section in the Discord, yeah. All right, so CVS Weekly, excuse me. This one is tapping a perfect high. I mean, there is a target to the upside at 77.19, but the high that you just hit must be broken. Now, this could be a great opportunity to the downside as well. CVX loves to make these big whips up and big whips down. So personally, I could see CVX possibly off of this rejection coming back for a $70 retest. All right. If mother of all MOB. Yeah, that's it, man. I mean, literally break the highs. Potter scammed me into making almost 800K in 2 years. I'm sorry about that, dude. Yeah, if anybody in here wants to get scammed like that, I can't help myself. Yeah, sorry about that, dude. If we are already in the Discord, we are good for Wednesday. If you have a membership, yes, you're good for Wednesday. What up, Twin? What's up, Markies? Mushies? Oh, that's beautiful. 2,500 a month. Yeah, it's good shit. MBIS Nabis. So this one, I believe we charted this one last week. Retest there, but personally, was it this floor? What are we looking for here? NBIS. What are you looking for? Up, down. It's on YouTube. Don't worry if you missed it. It's on YouTube. I don't know where that was. You look at Caleb lately up? Who the fuck is Caleb? Oh, K-Web? I have not. Oh, down. So down, all right. So already, right, you're in an uptrend. Personally, when I look at this one, I see a channel. So yes, there is a downside move. I would be looking at a target of 60.75 to the downside, but would be looking for a little area there. The YT, yeah, you're right. Yes. Yeah, Stop Loss Steve made 200K a month on the Discord. That was his average. It was paper trading. I mean, for paper trader, that's pretty good. But it doesn't actually improve your real life, and that was the issue there. So if you're faking it, then it works real good. Magnets work real good for the paper boys. All right. He had the magnets, yeah. Could you read off your current watch list at the end of the bit? Yeah. I mean, right now I have ARM, TTD, PLTR, Marvel. If you look at all those, they all look damn near the same. So, uh, how do I set those channels? Parallel channels. You can find them over here, the top one right underneath that little crosshair in the trend line area. All right. CRM. I'm trying to take all your requests. So this one is not, I mean, nothing about this tells me that it's going down. I mean, you've bounced off of this floor, so until that floor is lost, you know, not only that, you've also filled up all of your empty space. So, if you're looking at this from a bullish perspective, that would actually be pretty damn respectable. If you're looking at this from a bullish perspective, you could actually look at CRM making a nasty reversal, punch back through this box and ripping up to 312. I might actually have to write that one down. It's expensive, but sometimes you can get away with murder on CM. All right. I did HBQ. Nice hat. Can I grab one out of your closet? Oh yeah. Simone, for earnings, I typically try to buy the contracts for that earnings week, unless I see some like further out potential, or I'm buying it a week before that. But typically it's those weeks. I'm trying to keep my risk low. So ASTS down. That looks great. That looks good. That needs a good stop loss. And you're all hood. Floor. There you go. There is empty space up in this little pocket. So if you did see a little pop-up retest, that'd be tasty. I would be looking at 3470 to the downside. Not bad. Let's see here. CRM. I thought I did that one. Yeah, I like that one. I like that one. In fact, I really like that one now that I mean, I'm not like hot and bothered over it, but I mean, I do like it. I like the 24-hour tension mostly. Weekly tension looks pretty juicy. Empty space looks pretty juicy. On ASTS. Yeah, that empty space is pretty fire. That's good shit. Yeah, that's good. I like that. EGY up. Pagaya. Pagaya. So I've talked about this one before. With all of this empty space, you got to split it up into like little bits. I still think that 24 or 25% right here at 48.87, 46.87. Yes, there's still spots for Wednesday. Still spots for Wednesday. I'm probably going to take Thursday off, depending on how crazy this one gets. I also think that this week could be choppy. I mean, I feel that I mean, just remember that statement if I'm right. But yeah, I dead ass. I could see some chop, which this could make for a good learning week. Keep people off the shit. How are there still spots available? Be, Not a lot of people actually have signed up. I think it's like 15 people maybe have signed up, if that. Hi, Billie Eilish eyes. What? Me? What the fuck? Billie Eilish. Choppy until Wednesday. I could see that big O for sure. Do I take Zell? I don't know if I do, man. I have Wise, but what do I trade? Options. Adobe earnings. Yeah, I'm a little torn on those. I think the main thing is, does it move? Nah, last one, not great. This one, great. 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 Good. Don't want to give it too much clout. Great. 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 So right there, we could already say right there, there's a high probability that this fucker moves. So let's tell a story, right? So everybody bundle up. It's story time. Story's over. We bounced 3 times. That was a great story, but I think that definitely plays into earnings. Yes, I kind of like it. It could be a doo-doo event, but I mean, personally, so you're bouncing right in there. Downside is 319, 318. Upside, and because of the empty space, the first target is 370. But I would expect if it kind of repeats, and again, I like to kind of visualize because stocks do repeat themselves quite often. I do like to kind of copy and paste sometimes. Yeah. So funny enough, that lines up exactly with the floor of this box right there. So I could say upside potentially 4. Shit, $600. Damn, son. Do you wait until you hit a specific number on your account to pull money out? No. If I have, yeah, I trade on a $50,000 account. If I have a, let's say, end of the month comes around, I've got 5,000 or $59,000. I'm pulling money out. It could be $1,000, and I'm pulling money out. You know, it's a principal thing. Yeah, I used to do it as 10K, but now I don't restart my account. I still trade on a $50,000 account. But all right, Baba. So, guys, you guys know the deal with Chinese stocks. I like the resilience. I like that it's bounced, but now we can just call it what it is, which is just no own new fucking dumbass range. Box looks like this. I'm still looking at a target overhead of 142.50, guys. I mean, literally with Chinese stocks, roll the dice. ANF up. Oh, Lord have mercy. 24-hour, dude, that is atrocious. I mean, it has a lot of tension. It does have not 24-hour empty space, weekly empty space for sure. But honestly, now that I look at it on the weekly, here's what I see. I see pretty nasty rejections here. Now on this rejection, you just keep building. So now we need to find the floor. The floor should be basically under $90 or 89.23, and you've got a box underneath you that looks like that. So sure, you could see 83 to the downside, and hold on one second. Okay. Yeah, I was like, what the hell? What the hell? What the hell? Oh, Lord have mercy. Nah, no chickens. Dog got to a fight with a cat. All right, what happened to the haptic shorts at 20K? Oh, they've been going off, dude, this whole time. Let's just say I'm dehydrated. Woo! Damn. Hold on. I need some paper towels. The fucking coffee went down the Sunday hole. Coffee in my lungs. Ooh. I was said paper towels, but tissues. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, jeez. Stay strong. Ah, I'm good. Oh, all right. That was good. Feel like a new man. All right. Let's see here. What else do we have? Your throat okay? You know what, Alex? I'm gonna come and buy up all the houses from the other realtors that work with you. I'm gonna go and find your listings and ask them to sell it to me. I'm gonna say I'll buy that house, but only if what do you think about that, bud? I bid SoFi already, Hood. That one looks good. I mean, one could look at this one down, one could look at this one up. You have rejection line 111. I will lie on TikTok and say you scammed me. I have so many receipts, bro. It's too late now. It's too late, dude. I think you're even on the website at this point, man. I'm black. I'll play the race card, dude. You know what? It's fucked up. Anyway, 111 candle close outside of that mark, and that's where we could see upside movement. There's a cost basis right at 113.25. And I mean, kind of look at the downside here, and I see 94.45 move down into the 74s. So, oh my God, blackish. You're black. Who, me? Are you? What do you mean black? What the fuck does that even mean? I'll use my brown card to help you out. I think it takes two brown cards to fight back. So that's good, man. I'll fight my own battles. I can take Alex on. I'm also Mexican. All right, that's fucking cheating, dude. That's what am I supposed to do about that? At that point, I just gotta call the police. I'm just kidding. just I'm just kidding. I'm just... Sir, there's a couple guys barbecuing in the park. Ordered for racism. Oh no, not the Burger King crown. All right. He said alcohol. Jesus Christ. Wait, hold on a second. I feel like give me a second. Hold on. Okay. I had to check something. Uh yeah, Alex, I don't I wouldn't even started, dude. Making carne asada. Carne asada or carne asada? Carne asada, is that like where you go and like kidnap people who work at fairs and make them into a stew? Carne asada? That's pretty diabolical. Uh oh my god. All right, Kanye asada. That actually, there you go. That one's a little racist. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording here. I feel like we got a good playlist going. If you guys are watching this back, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next.